Hey everyone!
Hey, hey!
Welcome to Linda's Electric Quilters, and you have me holding the sign. You totally threw off my whole move.
I know, but
Trying
you know
to figure
what?
out what is going on.
I had to use my art one time at least. So
That
hopefully
art
that
one
was
time?
fun.
That one time of art there?
That one time of art, maybe 2 times, who knows? Anyway, welcome, welcome.
I thought it was fun. That was cool.
Yep.
Definitely. So welcome to After Hours here at Linda's Electric Quilters. We are super excited that you are joining us this evening.
We are.
Tonight we have a really cool project planned for you based on our backdrop here.
Yep.
We'll be taking a look at the Unbeweaveable pattern.
Unbelievable.
Oh! Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
Okay,
dun.
we don't own the
Okay.
rights to that, so that's enough.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be taking a look at that, but before we get started, as always, make sure you subscribe to our channel, so it's going to be right down there at the bottom right-hand corner.
Yep.
After you click on that subscribe button, make sure you click on the little bell that shows up so you can get notified whenever we post new videos or whenever we go live here at After Hours.
Yay! That was fun.
You have a follow-up line after I'm done.
I forgot.
I've done my stuff.
Anyway, if you missed last week's video, which was super fun on how to make a t-shirt quilt, don't forget those videos are always saved on our channel. So go back in the search menu, look at the past videos. There's so many great videos with awesome content.
So many past ones and so many more fun ones to come.
Yes, we've been planning them out, sketching out ideas, and changing it up a little bit. So we're pretty excited.
We've been sketching out ideas.
Well, I actually made a sign.
Oh,
so,
she must have been sketching out ideas. I wasn't a part of that memo or that meeting.
No,
I
yeah,
didn't get that one.
I'll have to bring you up to that.
I see.
Anyway, so like always, I always have a question because I just love to interact with you, and I like to hear the responses. It's just super fun to go back and read them. Have you ever tried the X Blocks template to make a pattern? Right?
Sorry, I was processing the question.
Okay, did I make it complicated?
It's been a long day for me. I've been processing the question. No, you're fine. I had to literally put one word in front of the next, so I was fine. So using either the X block
Not
or the
fun getting
basics.
older, is it?
It's not fun getting older. I am just getting up there. A solid 26 is right around the corner. It's getting to me. So, but yes, have you ever used the X block template? And then my question, because I saw some of y'all entering in the comments before we got started, is where are you watching from this evening?
Yeah.
We always like to know. We get people from all over the world, and so it's really cool to see who is basically here with us virtually.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching us and seeing what we're up to.
Exactly.
So it's fun.
Super fun. Okay, without further ado, let's bring in Chantelli, our special guest that's going to help us.
Yes.
All right, come
on
on
in. So if you watched our video last week, or if you go back and watch that video, Chantelli was with Chantelli was with us last week doing a t-shirt quilt. Teaching us how to do that. Had a lot of great response from that. Everyone loved your technique with the fusible and the press. A lot of cool comments. I saw you in the comments kind of answering back to people.
I was trying.
Yeah, it's a lot. It starts to get going on you. So it's just I had a great time last week, and I can't wait to see what you're going to be showing off this week, because you made me one of these.
Yes.
And I absolutely love it. So I know everyone else is going to love it as well.
Which we will show at the end.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
So what have you got for us?
Okay, so we're going to kind of go over the process of how to start it out.
Okay.
So how we started out is basically you're going to pick your fabrics.
Okay.
And so we have 13 different fabrics that come with this pattern. So as you see, there's 2 different sizes, because each of the X blocks have different size X blocks templates.
Okay.
And so I went ahead and did 2 of them so you guys could see the difference in the sizes of the widths and everything like that.
So real quick before we go any further on that, I just want to clarify one thing. With the fabrics, this is something that people pick out on their own. It does not come with the pattern, though,
It
correct?
does not come with the pattern.
All right. So these are just 13 random fabrics that you've picked out. And a lot of these look very familiar. I see some wave here. I see some illusions. I see some that's textured. I see some this looks a little bit like some of the wide backs that we carry in the store.
Yes. If you look at the purple and blues, those are literally, I believe, all wide backs.
This one is dry brush.
Yes.
This is textured dot. This is swirl something. This is etchings. Yes, yes. So you're able to use wide backs as well. You're not just stuck on using 45s or pre-cuts or anything like that.
Correct.
You can grab some of those 108s, 110s, 118s, 120s. Did I catch everything, Diana? Yes,
Yes,
I
you
did.
did.
Yeah.
And use them for projects like this. So you're kind of saving a little bit of money while you're doing that.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So with those 2 different sizes, what sizes are we looking at today? Or what sizes come with it?
So With the pattern, they have a couple different sizes that you can get. The
Okay.
templates start at a belly button,
Okay.
and then go to mini, and then go to a regular just X block size.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to
And
show. So I have the mini 7.5 right here, and this is the size template you used
For those.
for that
yes.
size, right? For those ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the larger quilt, which would be more of the king size
King
quilt.
size, yes.
This is kind of, we just want to show you what they kind of look like, because when we actually cut it out, it'll be a little harder to see. So that's what that looks like. Now we do have them in the smaller sizes too, so if you were looking for more of a queen size quilt, and I don't have those open, you could do more of a 6.5 inch, right?
Correct.
I have that right?
Uh-huh.
And then again, if you're looking for just a little bit smaller, maybe wall hanging or something of that sort, you'd go with the mini 6.5. So you can definitely use both of the sizes for different things,
Yes.
right? For different, depending on what you want to do.
So looking at those for the quilt, like say for instance this one that we have behind us.
Yes.
I assume this was done with either the 6.5 or the 7.5.
The 7.5.
The 7.5. Okay. So when you're wanting to do those larger quilts, you've got that larger template, and for those smaller ones, you've got the smaller template. But you don't have to have both of them to do one quilt.
No, you
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
I wanted to do the 2 different sizes. I love this pattern.
Yes.
And so, like the first one I did, I made for you.
You're right.
And I wanted to see what it would look like. And then the next one I did, I made for me.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
And I really enjoy it. It's like, I just love doing it. And then when I pull it out again and I'm like, okay, this color, this color, this color, this color.
Flipping
Okay,
it
I'm
here,
going to do
flipping it
this. Yes. And I do a lot of quilting. So with all the wide backs, I have the extra fabric. I use that.
Right. Definitely.
So
I love that. Okay. So what's
Well,
the?
let's show the
wait.
pattern really quick.
Okay.
Just so I'm
Where are we
going to go over
headed?
here. And just so you can kind of see, what we're saying, unbelievable. And that's kind of what it looks like.
There you go.
There we go.
And
All right.
then checking out sizes, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
flip that there real quick. That'll kind of show you what you're needing for what size of what quilt. And on our website, the images with that second image, or first or second image, has that same backing of that same picture. So that same option right here that shows you all those sizes. So you can look on the website and say, okay, I need a 7.5 inch because I want to do a
That's
98 by 112
The king size
quilt,
is huge one.
be a really big quilt, or I need a 6.5 or an 84 by 96. And you can find all that information there on our website, longarmsupplies.net. Okay, so
Alrighty.
fabric, what's step 2?
Okay, so I've basically we're gonna piece.
Okay.
So once you get the fabric together, all the instructions are inside there, and then you're gonna piece out each square. So you get all your squares ready first,
Okay.
because you're gonna end up like on one of these. I think it was like 472 of one square. So
okay.
yeah.
You can keep making those for me.
So it does come a lot. So
Okay.
I cut all the fabric out ahead of time,
Okay.
and then I'll start piecing it. So I have some extras here
Okay.
to show you how to get it pieced together.
Okay. So I'll move this up out of here so we can get a nice view right here.
Yeah. So this is kind of an idea of what one will look like.
Okay.
Open
Oh,
it up.
sorry.
This is the bigger one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it'll be like this, and then
Oh.
Like that.
Okay, I got
so I'm gonna piece that. I have 3 of them, so I'm gonna piece them real quick.
Okay.
And then I'll add them to ones that I've already kind of done to show you a small little preview of them.
I gotcha. All right. Well, while we're getting all that situated, let me move.
So you like to plan them all out, right?
I do.
So
I
you-
do.
So you like to plan them out and then kind of put them in order.
Mhm.
So you were showing me how you kind of put the little, while you're pulling those together. I'll bring this back over here.
Yeah. So these
So where you kind of like put them all together, just like you had all these
yeah.
together.
So I have these little clips that I usually do. This is going to be one row.
Okay.
So of course I made smaller rows this time, but
Yeah.
this one is one row, and so then I'll know which ones I need to cut which way. In there it tells you, because you only need the one template to do a quilt, because you do the reverse side of the template.
Got it. Okay.
So you do one side and then the other side, and that helps it do the.
So that just keeps
With
it
the lines.
organized for you. So like you have this is what I'm fixing to piece. This is the
Yes.
row I'm working on, and so it makes it a lot easier to keep it together.
Yes,
That's
and
really
then this shows me after that. Then I'll take it to here, and then I'll go and cut them.
perfect. Alrighty, I'll
So.
give them back to you. I remembered you telling me something about that. I'm like, oh, that's really key because that's important.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now I'll let you take it back over.
Is that on? Let's just turn it all the way.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Good.
I just realized I'm going to need that.
Need that iron a little bit to open up some of them seams.
Just a little bit. Okay, you need to set this one to the 1/4 inch.
Oh, yep.
Mine's a little different.
There you
Okay,
go.
there you go.
I always forget to do that. I don't know why. I mean, I'll find out when the needle breaks when it hits the foot the wrong way, but let's not do that
Let's
live.
not do that.
So you're just doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance on
A
that?
1/4 inch seam allowance, yep.
Okay.
Why? It always does that to me on the first one.
Or the first cut, yeah. Let's see, we got people in the comments. Someone is actually piecing this quilt right now as well.
Oh,
so perfect
awesome.
timing. That's fun there.
You'll have to send us a picture when you're done. The colors that you use. It'd be fun to see. And again, she's just going slow for you guys. You can actually pick up your speed on your machines.
Of course, yes, definitely.
So you're making those
I
side
d-
rows.
I
so
do the
those
side
strips
rows first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see. This is
Do you have
going to
any
be so
questions
nice.
while they're doing it?
No, I think everyone's just kind of watching.
Okay.
Okay. You and that thread cutter.
I
It's just
know.
on camera. It doesn't like you.
It doesn't. Mine knows me.
So we've got those fabrics going right side together.
Yes.
Nice 1/4 inch seam. Doing those sides. And let's see. This is going to be so much nicer. When I first opened up this pattern, I was so confused on
Yeah.
what went where and what did what that I called Auntie and said, no, this is not going to be one for me.
Okay.
I have
so
given
then
up.
I will go over and we're gonna iron the seams down real quick.
Okay. And are you pressing these to the side, open?
I press them to the side.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes. I did do open when I started yours
Okay.
and realized the timing it took, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, no, we're going to the side.
So we got it pressing towards the
Press to
center
the
part there. I
side.
see.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm going to do that on both of those.
yes,
All right. I like that. Don't you just love that little iron?
I love.
I love
my
that little
iron.
Lisa. It's so cute. Alrighty.
And then I will put this one on top of this one.
Okay. So that main center full strip that you've got. Okay.
And it's so funny because watching you piece this, you're like, how in the world are you going to get that to look like this? But that's what the magic is.
Yeah, those
templates
magic
are.
of those templates is really
Yeah.
cool.
I can't wait to see that.
Ironically, it looks like an X after she's piecing it, and then after that it changes. So. Hello to everyone joining in. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
And then you just put, okay.
And the next one on the other side.
Okay.
And one thing you don't see how that you should have this on each side. It's totally okay because
Okay.
when you cut it, you're not going to use that part.
Okay, gotcha. That
So-
little extra fabric there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to make mine as close as possible, but you never know, especially when you're cutting by rows.
Right, right. Love this.
So if you want to iron this down, I can get these other two out of the way real quick.
Yep.
And so with her ironing those seams, we iron into the center like you did for the rows a second ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Into the center.
Into the center. I can do that. That is definitely not as hard as what you're doing. Well, you should see the one thing I only tried to piece one top ever, and I stopped there. So, but I'm learning little tips, and maybe one day I'll be brave enough to put the one I pieced on camera. Because it's still sitting there looking really bad in my office, not
Which one
finished.
did you piece?
I tried to do that, like a jelly roll thing when you did it in my
the
office.
jelly roll thing.
Yeah, see, you haven't even seen it because
I haven't even seen
it's
it. I
pretty
have no
bad.
idea what you're talking about at all.
It's pretty bad. But I'm gonna do it again. I'm definitely gonna do it again.
Okay, I'm here for that.
Then I'll have my first one how bad it looked, and then I'll see my improvements, right?
So while you're
Yeah.
piecing here, I see some color switching.
Yes.
I see, because that first one that we did, we had purple in the squares, and then for this one, you've got those blue dots in the squares there. So talk to me about that.
Okay. So it goes on with the pattern. Once you once I get this one all done, and let me see that one real quick. This one is the first one, this is the second one, and this next one is going to be the third one in there.
I see.
Once I get them cut, then you'll see how they
staggered
flow
chevron
in there.
effect. Okay. So I can definitely see how doing this for the very first time, you could get kind of, you know, your head around a few things, because you've got fabric all over the place.
You do.
Trying to figure out exactly what goes which way. Now I've got a beautiful picture, but when I choose different fabrics, I have no idea which way that picture is going to go.
Yeah, you know, actually inside the pattern is really good instructions on what they call a piecing chart with the colors. So that'll help. That'll definitely help with somebody.
I kind of purged that out of my memory after I saw that the first time. So
Yeah.
when I first opened it, I was like, ooh.
The instructions are really good. They definitely explain how to do each row. It actually shows you like this.
Okay.
On how to set the rows up.
Gotcha.
And then you cut them. And it tells you how to cut them.
Okay.
The regular side, the reverse side, all that good stuff.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, I was just glancing at the pattern. I'm like, ooh, it has like a color chart and everything in there. It's awesome.
Well, we like color charts. Love us some color charts. All right. Back into piecing again.
Yes.
And you've got 3 of these to do that first little section?
3 of these, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm feeling a Corey block coming.
A Corey block.
Yeah, I think that you should do the next one. I think there's just one more to do,
that's
right?
funny.
Yeah, there's just one more.
Yeah, one more.
I think
Let's
I got
knock
it.
out.
All right. I think I've got it.
And the reason we're kind of doing this repetitively for you is so you can, if you missed a step the first time, you're like, okay, you get to catch it on the second block, and you get to learn an extra tip each time. At least I'm learning an extra tip each time.
I know the needle and the thread are going to do the exact same thing every single time, but it's so fascinating to watch it make a stitch.
There you go.
All right, your turn.
Okay.
I'll press so you can teach.
All right. Here. Oh. It's a tight squeeze back here. All right. So I've got this one, so I'm going to kind of lay these out so I can kind of get myself an idea. I know squares go with squares.
Yep.
Got a full stripe in the center, and then matching up, basically making a plus sign
Yes.
with that. Okay, so I'll set those off to the side. Right sides together. Throwing this through. Oh gosh, my OCD is about to kick in, but you said don't, it doesn't matter.
Don't let it kick in. Yeah.
All right, so let's start that. Everyone's so excited that thread cutter's working again for you.
Me too.
Put that back in there. Okay, that's together. So I can, once you really get this process down,
Yeah.
it looks like a lot, but I'm sure it goes together pretty fast.
It does.
Yeah.
And organization is key when it comes to something like this.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep your rows organized, your
sorry about that, thread
fabric
cutter.
organized, then you are easy enough to put it together.
Right, going pretty fast there at that point.
And then the with the instructions, having that template for you, it's perfect as well.
So give me a rough estimate of how much time the big king size one behind us took you. Rough estimate.
It took me 2 days.
Okay.
But
That sounds like you were working all day, every day. No sun, no food, minimal water at that point.
I was at a quilting retreat,
Uh-huh.
and I had already had everything cut out,
Okay.
ready to go. So I just basically had to piece it all together. And then design wall, they had great design walls there that I could put them all up so I could do the rows by rows. So the design wall helps out a whole lot.
Definitely.
So yeah, I was there for 3 days, and I got there at night, and then quilted for 2 days, and I left that third night, I guess you say, because it was a 3-day retreat, but I didn't stay the last night. I went ahead and I needed to come home for my kids, so I ended up leaving. I finished it like
Nice.
11 o'clock at night that night.
Oh my goodness. Minimal human contact.
And most of the ladies are like, "You're so focused, oh my gosh," and I'm like, "I want to get this done."
The phone was on Do Not Disturb.
Well,
Airbuds were in.
The best thing about the retreat center is it's in the middle of nowhere, so
Oh, well,
you
there's that.
don't get service at all.
Oh, there's that. Okay. This is where I almost put that right there. Okay, so that's got to go on that side. Make a
Yes.
plus. And then...
We're going to let you finish that real quick, and we're going to talk over here.
Okay, go ahead.
So tell
Yes.
us why he's finishing that up. You were talking about the design wall.
Yes.
So what is like a tip? Because you were telling me you, instead of like getting an actual design wall, what did you do to make it a little more cost effective?
I have flannel fabric on my wall.
Okay.
So I basically pieced some flannel fabric together, some 45s, and then stapled it to my wall. And I have one of my walls is designated just for my design wall.
Design wall.
Yeah.
So, or if you could actually get a flannel wide back now.
Yes, you can.
And then do the same thing. And the one thing about that is it's so cost effective. So eventually, if it didn't work anymore, the stickiness or whatever is gone. Take it down and put another 3 yards up or 2 yards up, right?
That's right.
There you go.
Fun.
And
Okay.
the best thing about when you do the flannel wall, you do want to do lighter colors, because if you're going to put all these colors on there, you don't want to have a darker color and then it
Right.
get a little confusing.
Kinda get lost,
Does that
yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
You'll see
Okay.
that darker section and part of those squares, and you'll be like, I missed something. You'll think something was there,
Yeah.
and you get the quilt together, and you got that missing piece right there. It was a design choice.
Is it?
But
Probably just like a white flannel.
So,
or
well,
ivory
to be
flannel.
honest with you, I have both.
a couple of design walls.
So,
No, I have a white at the top and an ivory at the bottom.
oh, there you go. There you go.
I had that at home, so I'm like, I'm making myself
This
a
one
design
works.
wall.
I need it. Okay, so we have these 3 blocks done.
Okay.
The 1st section here. So what is step? What are we on? 4?
The next step.
The next
Next
step.
step. I don't know,
Okay,
4 or
so
5,
I'm
one
going
of
to
those
show you
steps.
what we've already have done.
Okay.
Previously. I did this earlier today. And so this is kind of what it's going to end up. It's going to go right here. So if you ever are confused, say you have these blocks and like, oh no, they're not in order. Which way do I go? Well, automatically you know this one is going to come. This obviously is here.
Gotcha.
This one is obviously here. And this one's obviously there.
I
So-
see.
So put
1, 2,
get
3.
yourself back in order. So
I'm back in order.
It's on the. It definitely has it in the pattern that way, but this is a quick way to do that. Okay. So now
Exactly.
you do. Now what's next?
So when you have the pattern, it tells you which one's reverse, which one's regular.
Okay.
I kind of know the pattern. So like this is regular, reverse, regular, reverse, regular, reverse. So now I'm back to regular, reverse, regular.
Okay.
So
Based on the direction. That's what you
based on the
mean, right?
direct, based on this.
Okay. Okay.
So this is regular, as you can read it, 7.5
Oh,
X
okay.
blocks. This is reverse.
Got it. I see what you're saying
So-
now. So where you can read the words and words are backwards. Forwards,
Yes.
backwards. Okay. Got it.
And so when you're doing this, you see that you have measured up. It's not always going to be exactly on the lines. Like you can see it's off just a little bit there. And I can't quite see the top of it. You're taller
You're
than
pretty
me.
good. No, that was
Okay.
pretty dead on. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's okay though, right?
it's totally fine.
So it doesn't have to be exactly on those lines.
Exactly.
So it's a 2 inch, 1 inch, whatever one you're using. It's okay. This is more of a guide to get you that.
Yes.
That. Okay.
Yes. I need a
Cutter.
Oh, you need a
Yeah,
rotary cutter.
yeah.
That might help.
Yes.
So looking at this real quick before you start
Yeah.
cutting, I see there's a bunch of different lines on here.
Yes.
But for this one, it looks like you're just sticking with the solid
Correct.
black lines. Okay. All right. Cool.
And I'm pretty sure that those dotted lines are for other types of patterns.
Right. Yeah.
I just haven't done them yet.
Okay.
So
Cool. I'm
So
sure the
for-
pattern
for
will tell you that.
Unbelievable. This one is.
yeah.
All
So
right.
I have.
Oh, and she's got her little.
I brought
spinner
my
today.
lazy Susan today.
I like that. See, this is easier. She had me cutting
What?
T-shirts
Not
last
going over
week.
like what we were doing.
You gotta do what you gotta do, though. Look at that.
And there you go. Now, if I don't know if you can see this one. Yeah, I mean you can see here. You have your next block right there.
I see.
So-
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So let's cut the next one.
Yeah.
And so that one's reverse, right?
Yep. So you just flip it over,
Okay.
and the same thing. You use those lines.
I know we have the table up a little higher. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Having to hop up on her tippy toes to see where she's at. So then I guess I have a question while you're doing that, just to make sure I'm still seeing this properly in my head. The word X blocks and the number, the 7.5, 6.5, whichever one you get, that stays on the solid strip. That's how you know you're where you need to be.
Yes.
Okay, cool. was trying to figure out how you knew to which way to lay it. So, but it just stays on that solid one strip. That's where those words go. Okay, I gotcha.
And then we're back front side. Yep.
And as you can tell, my piecing wasn't great on this one. There's just a hair off.
Well, that's okay.
But that is totally fine. And you see it's a little wider. You see more here and here. It's totally fine. It does not have to be exact.
Gotcha.
You're still going to come out with the same thing.
Okay, cool. That's really interesting.
I have a routine at home, so this is. And honestly, the extra the fabric that you cut off, it actually has a pattern in there showing you can use it in another quilt.
Oh.
So
Oh,
you can
nice.
keep your
those
scraps.
Yeah.
So inside the actual pattern, the Unbeweaveable pattern, they have
Yep.
a pattern how to use your scraps. That's great. So you're not wasting all that.
Exactly.
Perfect, perfect.
Because
So
doing that, when you do a king size
you're
quilt,
like, oh,
I had half of a bucket of, of
Had another bolt of
scraps.
fabric there, right
Yes.
there. Would have pieced that together.
So basically, if you line this up, say this is our design wall,
Okay. I can
put
move
this
your-
up.
Move this out of the way so you have a nice flat surface. There you go. You don't need this again, do you?
I was going to do the smaller ones,
Okay.
but I
We'll
mean,
just move it
depends
over there
if,
to that side then. There we go.
so you put it up like this.
I see.
And you see all of those work together, that works together, that does,
Oh.
and then this does.
That's so cool.
So
cool.
that's
We
where,
started off with that little like 9-patch type of look, and then turned it around to look like that. That's
I am
perfect.
so proud. 9 paths. Good terminology. You go, girl.
All right, let's let you show the other one real quick and cut that up. We won't even worry about piecing that one together. Yep.
okay.
Cool. And so then you just keep repeating that same process over and 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 over again to
And you
get to
get
that
this
idea.
lovely thing
That
that's
beautiful
standing
quilt. This
behind
thing
us.
is beautiful. I can't wait to
Isn't
quilt
that-
this. I'm so excited.
Yes,
Yep.
me too.
I did all the patterns already. I can't wait to quilt it. I had someone do the pattern. Excuse me. Shout out to Christy Dillon. Thank you for doing the patterns, but I can't wait to quilt it. I'm so excited.
Alrighty.
This one is a lot smaller, so it shows you how to use the smaller
The little
X-block.
baby.
And I already have these already pre-pieced. And
Perfect.
so you know, boom, boom, boom.
Perfect. And then you can just cut a couple of those real quick, and then show them how easy easy it is to use the smaller ones.
The smaller ones the same way.
Any questions in the meantime?
Everyone's just kind of liking it.
Well, good.
Normally when there's not a whole lot of shadow, people are like zoomed in,
I know we're like doing the same
watching
thing.
what's
We're
going
watching.
on.
We'll get those cut, and then we'll show the final product, what they look like when it's all done.
I want to cut one after you're done so I can make sure I got my mind wrapped around something
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm still like, I have a brain block right now, and maybe it's just me, but
What? Corey with a brain block?
I have a brain block all the time. Too much stuff goes on in my brain.
I
don't even
know.
want to think
I
about
know.
it. See, thinking, oh, I don't want to think about everything going on in my brain. Okay, just
I
a
will let you cut the other two because you're a lot taller.
second. Okay, so kind of
So,
wrapping back. Oh wait, okay, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to stop you. Go
no.
ahead. Sorry.
Since I did this one, the straightways, that one will be reversed.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, just to wrap my brain around this, does it matter which way you have? Besides reverse, does it matter which way you line up the lines as long as they're lined up? That's okay.
That's okay.
See,
There's no
my brain was wrapped around that it has to be like this
that.
way because like those should be parallel. I don't know why,
If you
but that's
look,
just but
when you look at it this way,
yeah.
you see
But then
how
it does
it's-
the same way and it all
and flip it
matches
the
up.
other
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
And it'll do the same.
it's the same.
Blah 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 blah. That's all I hear. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, I just told you I just had a little bit of a brain ache. I was making sure because, you know,
Well,
in
it's a good
the
question because, you know,
Yeah.
we might get that question. So
in
now,
the long hope that I think about doing one of these, big stretch there. Okay, OCD is kicking in again. You said it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So this is where some fabric grippers on your ruler would come in handy
Yes,
too,
it
right?
would.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, you flip them on both sides, so you'd actually have to have the grippers on both sides.
Right. It would definitely come in handy to keep this thing from sliding everywhere. All right, and something to that effect. Like that?
all right,
Yay!
all right, do the next one, and then we can show them what it's going to look like.
Okay. So now I would do left to right. Okay.
So if you just
Words
keep it in your
left to right.
mind, if you just keep it in your mind
Backwards, forwards,
each time,
backwards,
yeah.
forwards,
Flip,
backwards,
flop,
forwards.
flip, flop.
as you're working all the way through.
And it's okay because there's so many times that I had to go back and look at the pattern, but okay, do this right. Let me go back to this pattern and make sure that I have it in the right order and everything like that.
One of the big benefits of having a pattern to do that. This is just kind of giving y'all a decent idea of what's going on. See, okay. Now I know how you were feeling. Everyone's just watching me get this.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just going to take this over here. Yeah. Everyone's just watching me cut things. It's fine. I'm fine.
It's all the pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. Okay.
All right, let's
There you
just
go.
lay it up
Okay.
there and show
Oh.
what it looks like.
So,
Now
alright.
you lay it up there, and you got
So I got
Your
that one
yellow.
there, and I got that one there, and then
then
this
your
one,
blue.
it
I
doesn't
just-
matter which way it goes.
At
Right?
least not on that one. That is so cool.
yeah.
Like, you would not think that you would get that. Like, you would not think that you would get that, right? Like, when you're looking at those blocks, at
No.
least for somebody like me that's like a never piecer, new piecer, never new piecer.
She's a guppy. Embryo.
I
Embryo. That's what it
Embryo,
is. She's an
yeah.
embryo.
am.
She's an embryo.
So I would be like, there's no way that can't happen. We're not going to be able to do this. And I probably would like almost give up. But then I'm watching you and I'm like, oh, well, no, okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to read all the instructions
Yes.
or watch the whole video.
I literally read the instructions front to back.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know what I was doing, especially when you go somewhere and you want to make sure. I did yours at the very first retreat I went to, and I did mine at the very second retreat I went to.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And it's really good to. I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's
Lay
really
it
good.
out.
Read all
Lay
the
it out.
instructions
Read
and
the instruction,
all
lay it
out.
out.
Yes, read all the instructions.
Ahead of
Family
time.
intuition.
I
I knew
know.
what was going
I was
on.
just like, oh my gosh, what just happened?
So, well, let's show them the small quilt that she made
Oh,
for
it's
you.
over here. I thought it was on y'all's side.
That
I was like,
kinda-
who's bringing it out?
Shows kind of what this one looks like.
All right,
so this was
this is...
you used the 7.5 mini on this
The
one,
7.5
right?
mini.
It's rainbow.
Here, you guys go put it.
Look at
So really nice
that.
little good throw.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to quilt yours first. Be a little tighter on
And
this one.
the one thing I love about these is how it goes up into the
In the border, I really like that, especially
Yeah.
it's harder for them to see on this one, but we can
Yeah.
lift this one up. As the main part of what we've been looking at is, we'll go a little bit more that way.
I'll hold
Go
it.
team,
I
there we
got
go. The main part of what we've been looking at is this section right here, but this is interlocking up into this border up here, which is super cool.
And it does it on each
And
side.
it does it all the way around, yeah. So
Yeah.
it pops around all everywhere. So that's kind of cool.
That's super
and
cool.
nifty.
And then
lot of
let's show the
seams.
bigger one right here. So this is the king size that you use the 7.5 one.
Yes.
Oh,
I almost knocked it over. Whoops,
This
that'd
is
have been
my
fun.
baby.
so so tell us how when you were choosing your colors, did you just choose your favorite colors, or you were choosing colors that complement each other?
On this particular one, it was my favorite color and my husband's favorite color.
Oh, fun.
And
okay.
so my husband's blue and I'm purple, and then I did a one in the middle that has both blue and purple to kind of complement and show it that that's the middle in a way.
Yeah, to kind of bring it together, because I can
Yeah.
see how that color's going there and it's going there.
Oh, I totally took that whole train of thought off. I
And
was
I
thinking
like how that-
the interlocking of their love and their marriage. Those were the colors where it went. I was totally off, but whatever.
Sounds great.
There we go. That's what it was.
Watch me right now. That was it, babe.
All righty. Well, that's super cool, and I like this. There's so many designs. So come back over, and so Corey, give
What's
us
up?
some design ideas. So if somebody has pieced this or they're thinking about piecing this, why don't you give some from simple to maybe just a little bit more advanced design ideas? Just really quick.
From like a quilting standpoint?
Yeah, like a
Oh,
quilting.
Looking at this one, I have yours at a much more advanced custom, like show quality size of what I want to do. But starting from more of like a simplified idea, you have a lot of straight lines in this piecing. A lot of harsh lines, a lot of harsh corners, a lot of harsh points. So when you're quilting, you don't want to add more harsh lines, harsh corners, harsh points into that design, because what's going to happen is you're going to get to some point in the pattern where it's going to fall into the ditch of this, and you're going to lose that quilting pattern. It's going to look like you lost your thread or your thread broke for about 10 inches, and then it's going to come back. Unless you look on the back, either you or your customer is going to be a little confused on why that pattern disappeared into the ditch. Well, that's just what it's supposed to do. That's what happens. So anytime you're working with anything with a lot of harsh lines, you want to throw in curves, you want to throw in waves, you want to throw in some type of curl. What that's going to do is that's going to break up those harsh lines and bring it all together and intertwine it. So what I would do here, just because there's so much piecing, I don't really want to take away from the piecing, I would have some type of wave pattern going along with this same flow. So figure out whatever direction this quilt's going to be. So this one was 98 by 112. Okay. So I'd have my 98 side, my 112, or actually if I was quilting it, I'd flip it so it'd just be faster. I'd have my 112 side, my 98 side, and I have that flow. So what's going to happen when it's laying on the bed, 98, 112, those waves are going to wave down the quilt, and it's going to look really, really cool with this. And that'll be super fast and super simple, just doing those waves back and forth. It gives it a lot of movement, kind of makes it look like it's 3D and moving around when you're looking at it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Especially
I
if you do it with 2 layers of
never
batting.
thought about that.
Oh, well.
No, I honestly was thinking do straight lines, but no, I didn't think about the way that it would hide.
It would definitely hide it, and you'd be so freaked out trying to do those straight lines to get like that perfect channel. If it was off a little bit, you'd pick it out, and then you get really frustrated with yourself. Those waves, doesn't matter where they hit, it would look really, really pretty all the way down.
That would be fun. Yeah. So that's from that, or
so then going up into more of a custom standpoint, I had patterns designed for me. Again, thank you, Christy. Shout out for this quilt, and what I've got is I have pearls going in here.
I thought it was
got pearls, yeah.
Okay.
I've got pearls going in here down the main part of the channel, so the 112 section, and it has lines that come out straight up and down, and they basically bounce away. But what that does is that gives it a little bit of, what's the word? It kind of looks like shiplap, basically, kind of like wood. And then you have those pearls in the center, and then I've got pearls in all these little sections here. And it's just going to make it really pop. But the biggest part is, so instead of having that wave, I have a wave of pearls. That's really what mine's going to end up looking like.
So it's still a wave theory.
So it's still a wave theory. It's just trying to stay away from those straight, harsh lines or like Greek keys or something like that, because it'll just disappear into the ditch.
So that's a good point for any quilt that has a straight line.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to just be this one.
Yeah.
And you know, if you have a quilt that has a ton of curve and a ton of arcs in it, basically, you would go with something that has more of straight lines to break up those curves. Otherwise, if you do a wavy pattern, it's going to fall into the ditch of the piecing.
All right.
So you kind of have to flip those.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what I would do.
Awesome. Well, Chantelli, thank you again for showing us your talent and bringing some ideas to our viewers so that they can try this. And we can't wait to see what we can get you to do next.
Before you go, quick question. Do you assemble your rows left to right and then move down to the next row?
Yes.
So you do basically this one
the first
thing,
row, yes.
and then you move down to that
next
one.
one.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Please show us the quilt after you have it quilted. Yes, I will. It'll be a backdrop in one of the videos whenever it's done.
Exactly.
I have all the patterns. I just have to find the time. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's finding the time. It's finding the time.
Finding that time. Okay. Well, thank you again so much for being with us. We always love seeing your talent. You're welcome. Okay, let's. This quilt. Or every time we have a backdrop, it's like a little tiny section in here.
I know, little tiny section.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Do you think she'll notice if I take these?
I think she will.
Gonna
So
walk
she's
away.
like right there.
I'm gonna grab this iron too. I'm gonna grab this mat.
Lots of fun, cool tools that she showed to get that you can use to make things a little bit easier.
Right.
I love the little tiny iron thing. That's really cool.
Okay, that means she's gonna get one.
Yeah, I probably will now. And then eventually I'll learn how to piece, right?
You'll do it. You'll do it. So you can find this pattern, these blocks, the block templates, excuse me.
The X blocks.
The X blocks, and the whole series of that on our website, longarmsupplies.net. It's listed right below right now for you.
Yep.
But we took a look at the Unbeweaveable today and the larger. You weren't gonna go
Oh.
There you go. And that larger X block template, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
Let me see.
We have more patterns in the series that we will be showing some of them to give you some tips and ideas. Just really quick, and we hope that you enjoy segments like this. We have fun doing it, and we have fun bringing in people that know more than we do because we're not perfect at all this stuff. So we want to bring somebody that has a little bit more knowledge than us. Everybody will piece a different way. Everybody will do their designs a different way. These are just ways that Chantelli has found easy, things that we find easy when we're teaching. So, hey.
Just to give you a couple of different other ideas.
Hi, other ideas.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, well, we will see you next week for another fun-packed After Hours.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.